Hello, passionate Wrexham fans. Is everything okay? I hope so. Because today's video is really special. We're talking about 3 big signings coming to the club, and look, the last one will surprise you. So do the following. Stay with me until the end because this final piece of news is really worth it. But first, if you love the Red Dragons and want to stay up to date with everything that goes on behind the scenes and on the pitch, click the subscribe button and leave your like. This really helps the channel grow and you won't miss any news. Well, now, let's get to the main updates of our beloved Wrexham AFC. The club is going through a historic moment. After an impressive rise through the divisions of English football, with 3 consecutive promotion campaigns, Wrexham is preparing for the next challenge, the Championship. And, of course, this means that changes in the squad should happen again this summer. But while a lot changes on the pitch, off it the scenario is different. The club's management foundations remain solid, demonstrating just how strong the culture created by Reynolds and McElhenney is. Since taking over, they have strengthened the club not only with resources, but with a clear vision and solid values. While Reynolds, Rob and manager Phil Parkinson rightly receive much praise for this growth, others working behind the scenes have also been essential, even if they often go unnoticed by the media. That's exactly what Wrexham manager David Jones spoke about in an interview with Leader Live. And he was full of praise. According to Jones, in addition to the owners, names such as Sean Harvey and Michael Williamson have been instrumental in further professionalizing the club, especially in the way they have brought fans, players, and staff together. He also highlighted the role of Humphrey Kerr, who has been with the club since the takeover and has been, according to him, a calm and consistent influence throughout Wrexham's growth. And there's more. Veterans like Paul Chaloner, caretaker, Ewan Pugh-Jones, in charge of kits, and Cledwyn Ashford, youth development, continue to contribute daily. Not to mention legends like Brian Flynn, Joey Jones, and Mickey Thomas, who continue to support with all the experience they have. According to Jones, these people are the foundation of Wrexham, and the owners fully recognize the importance of each of them. And if anyone still thinks that the club's success is all about money, it's time to rethink that. Because if that were all, many millionaire teams would have already conquered the world, right? Wrexham succeeded because they went further. They created a strong culture, united the city, fans, and club in a single spirit. And that's what's taking the team ever further. And you know what's best? The journey isn't over yet. The best part of Wrexham is yet to come. Now hold on tight because the next news is hot. Wrexham have just confirmed the signing of Ryan Hardy, coming directly from Plymouth Argyle. And this arrival has everything to make a difference, you know? Hardy brings with him a good dose of championship experience, something that manager Phil Parkinson believes will be essential for Wrexham's performance next season. With Plymouth relegated, he was available, and Wrexham wasted no time. This signing marks the beginning of a decisive transfer window for the project led by Reynolds and McElhenney. And everything indicates that many more people are on the way. The racecourse ground could soon welcome several new names, and the list of targets is only growing. And speaking of that list, one name that continues to stand out is that of Joe Gelhardt, Leeds United striker. You may remember, in January, Wrexham tried to bring Gelhardt on loan. But at the time, he chose Hull City, where he scored 5 goals in 20 games and won over the fans. Now that Leeds are back in the Premier League, the situation has changed, and the player's future is once again up in the air. According to new reports, Wrexham are still keeping an eye on Gelhardt, and their interest remains strong. However, the club are not alone in this race. Hull City themselves want to keep him permanently, and other championship teams are also interested. Gelhardt joined Leeds in 2020 for £1 million, coming from Wigan. Expectations were high, but with so many manager changes and Leeds' ups and downs between divisions, the striker ended up not establishing himself. Even so, Leeds fans have not lost faith. On social media, many have said that Wrexham would be an excellent opportunity for Gelhardt to prove his worth. One fan commented, "Joffy needs to play week in, week out. Wrexham would be perfect for that." Another added, "It's going to be a great signing, and a smart move for his career." And there's more. Many believe that if he has 1 or 2 solid seasons as a starter, he'll return to the Premier League without any difficulty. But for that to happen, Gelhardt needs a place that will bet on him. And Wrexham seems to be that place. Of course, everything will depend on the negotiations, since the player still has a contract with Leeds until 2027. But according to reports, the club is open to selling, and the value is around £3 million. And to top it all off, another name is starting to circulate as a possible reinforcement for the Red Dragons. And look, this one might surprise a lot of people. Wrexham are keeping an eye on Daniel Jebbison, a 21-year-old striker currently at Bournemouth. According to rumours, the Welsh club are interested in bringing the young Canadian on loan this summer. But why is there so much expectation surrounding him? Jebbison is indeed a prospect that many people respect. He started out at Sheffield United, but it was during his loan at Burton Albion that he really caught the eye. He scored 7 goals in 20 games in EFL League One. That's no small feat. At the time, Burton's manager, none other than Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, even said the following about the youngster. He's one of the best talents in the country. He's got speed, skill, an eye for goal, and most importantly, he hates leaving the field without scoring. That's what a striker needs to be made of. And it doesn't stop there. Current Canadian national team coach Jesse Marsch is also a Jebbison fan. He has been called up 3 times to represent Canada, even though he could play for England or Jamaica. And he is expected to have a great future in the Canadian jersey. Marsch praised not only the player's talent, but especially his demeanor and mentality. He said, "Jebbison has enormous potential. He is still inexperienced, but he is growing with a hunger to learn and be part of the national team. His mentality is at an extremely high level." And there's more. When he was called back to Sheffield United midway through the 2021-22 season, the club's then coach Jack Lester said, "Physically, he is impressive. He has faced challenges and dealt with them with maturity. He is mentally strong, has been on the loan market and has done very well." If you've never heard of him, you should know that Jebbison has already made Premier League history. At the end of the 2020-21 season, when Sheffield were already relegated, the youngster was named in the starting lineup and scored a goal on his debut. He scored the winning goal against Everton at the age of 17 years and 309 days, becoming the youngest player to score in his first Premier League start, a record he still holds today. Since then, his career has taken a few twists and turns. He joined Bournemouth in 2024 for £1.5 million, scored 3 goals in 21 appearances for the Cherries, and also had a spell on loan at Watford, where he made 13 appearances in the Championship in the 2024-25 season. And to end with a possible taboo breaking in Wrexham's history, this news could be something unprecedented for the club, so pay attention. Wrexham are eyeing Ryan Teague, Melbourne Victory's midfielder, and according to Yahoo News Australia, the Red Dragons could be very close to signing their first real foreign player since the club's new era. Yes, it would be a historic step, and we are not alone in this dispute. 2 Belgian clubs, Gent and KV Mechelen, are also trying to secure the player. In other words, the competition is strong. And there's more. Wrexham should face Teague's team in the pre-season of the tour that will take place in Australia. But the curious thing is that it is not yet known which team he will be playing for in this match. Will he already be on our side? For those who don't know yet, Teague is only 23 years old, but he is already a standout in Australian football. He was one of the pillars of Melbourne Victory last season, scoring 4 goals in 24 matches. And we're talking about a midfielder, aren't we? And if you still have doubts about the quality of the kid, listen to what coach Tony Popovich, who called Teague up for the first time to the Australian national team and also brought him to Melbourne Victory, had to say. Ryan is an exciting young midfielder. He's been a key leader in the youth ranks for the national team, and we believe he can be a real influencer in the team. With this track record, it's clear that Wrexham's interest is not without reason. Now I want to hear from you, fan. What do you think of this possible historic signing? Does Ryan Teague have what it takes to be the first foreigner to make his mark at the racecourse under the new management? Comment below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news about our Wrexham.